I want you to think about something for a second. Every successful real estate investor you've ever heard of, the ones doing flips, building rental portfolios, closing deal after deal, almost none of them started with a pile of cash sitting in the bank. So how did they do it? That's the question I get more than any other. And today, I'm gonna give you the real answer, not the internet version, not the just manifest your deals version, and not the part that just glosses over the hard parts. The actual practical answer, broken down so clearly that by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which funding path makes the most sense for where you are right now. Welcome back to the REI Edge. If you've been watching this video series, you already know two things. Funding is not about the money, it's about preparation. And being funding ready means showing up with a deal that makes sense. Now we're gonna take it one step further, because understanding that concept is one thing, but knowing the actual funding options available to you, and more importantly, knowing which one fits which deal, that's where real momentum starts. So let's get into it. But before we go any further, I need to clear something up. When I say no money, I don't mean no responsibility. No money does not mean no accountability. It does not mean that you can be sloppy with your numbers. And it does not mean that every lender is just gonna hand you a wad of cash because you found a property. What it means is this: you don't have to be limited by how much money is in your personal bank account if you know how to structure the deals correctly. And that's the real lesson here. So stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm gonna walk you through a first deal funding roadmap that you can actually use before you talk to anyone about money. But first, let's talk about the 4 real funding paths that investors use to get deals done. There are 4 main ways investors get deals funded without relying entirely on their own money. And I wanna be straight with you about each one, the opportunity and the reality. Path number 1 is wholesaling. This is where a lot of beginners start, and with good reason. Because with wholesaling, you're not actually buying the property. You're getting the property under contract and then assigning or selling your rights to a cash buyer for an assignment fee. Done right, you may never need to bring your own money to the table. But here's what most people don't tell you. Wholesaling is not easy money. You still need to understand contracts. You need to know your state's rules around assigning contracts. You still need a real buyer, not a maybe, not a contact in your phone, but a verified cash buyer that can close. And the deal still has to have real margin. If there's no margin, nobody wants it. So wholesaling can absolutely be your entry point, but treat it like a business and not a shortcut. Path number 2 is private money. Private money is one of the most powerful tools available to real estate investors, and yet it's one of the most misunderstood. Private money comes from individuals, people with retirement accounts, savings, or investment capital that don't want to rely on conventional investment vehicles like the stock market. And here's the key shift in thinking. You're not asking them for money, you're presenting them with an investment opportunity. In other words, here's the deal, here's the risk, here's the plan, here's how you're protected, and here's exactly when you get paid back. That is a completely different conversation. When you approach it that way, private money becomes very accessible. Path number 3 is hard money lenders. Hard money lenders are asset-based lenders. They're not looking at your W-2, they're not pulling your tax returns. They are looking at the property, the purchase price, the ARV, the repairs, and your exit strategy. Hard money can move fast, which makes it very powerful for fix and flip or deals that require speed. But it does come at a cost. Points, interest rates, draw schedules, and other fees. You need to understand all of those before you commit to hard money loans. Because if your numbers don't account for financing cost, what on the surface might look like a profitable deal can turn into a break even or even worse. Path number 4 is partnerships. Partnerships are exactly what they sound like. You bring something to the table, the deal, the knowledge, the hustle, the market experience or the market knowledge, and they bring something to the table. The funds, their credit, operational expertise, and experience. Together, you close a deal that maybe you might not be able to do on your own. Partnerships can be incredibly powerful, but they have to be structured correctly. Who does what? Who gets paid what? Who carries the risk if things go sideways? And what happens if the deal takes longer than expected? And make sure you get everything in writing every single time without exceptions. A handshake deal with a partner is one of the fastest ways to lose a deal and potentially a relationship. Here's something I almost never hear anyone talking about, and I think it's critically important. Not every funding path fits every deal. And I see beginners make this mistake constantly. They learn about hard money and they try to use it in every single deal. Or they find a private money funder and they try to force every deal through that one relationship. The truth is, a wholesale deal does not typically use the same funding as a fix and flip. A rental deal does not use the same structure as a subject to deal, and a tax deed property does not need the same approach as a retail flip. The deal should determine the funding and not the other way around. So before you ask yourself, how do I get funding? Ask yourself, what kind of deal am I actually doing? And which funding path makes the most sense for this specific opportunity? That question alone puts you way ahead of the average person that's just scrambling to find funding. All right, so you know the 4 paths. You understand which one might fit your deal. Now, what do you actually need before you walk into that financing conversation? 5 things. That's it. Number 1 is the property details. The address, the condition, the property type, ownership situation, and photos if you can get them. 2, the numbers. Purchase price, ARV, repair estimate, holding cost, closing cost, expected profit, not a rough guess. Real numbers backed by real research. 3, your exit strategy. In other words, how are you making money? And what's your backup plan if plan A does not work out? 4, the risk. What could go wrong? And what's your plan if it does? And number 5, the payback plan. In other words, how are you paying back? And this is the one that most beginners completely forget about. In other words, how does the money come back to the lender? Through sales proceeds, through refinancing, or through assignment fees? If you cannot clearly explain how the lender or partner is gonna get paid back, you should not go out here asking for money. Full stop. Let me make this real for you with a quick example. Imagine you find a property worth about $250,000 after repairs. The seller will take an offer of $120,000 and the repairs are $35,000. The closing costs, the holding costs, and the resale costs are all roughly about $20,000. So you're all in for about $170,000 and your resale is $250,000. That is a $75,000 spread before financing. Now that type of deal is where a hard money lender gets excited. That's a deal where a private money lender leans in. And that's the type of deal where a partner will say yes. Because the numbers make sense, there is a real margin and the exit is clear. Now let's compare that to a deal where the ARV is $200,000. The purchase price is $160,000 and the repairs are $30,000. So you're all in at $190,000, maybe even more. The margin, if any, is razor thin. One little surprise and you are gonna lose money, and your partners will too. Same neighborhood, same kind of property. But the funding conversation is completely different because the quality of the deal is completely different as well. Strong deals attract funding, weak deals repel it. It's really that simple. So here's your action plan after this video. Step 1, pick one of the 4 funding paths that makes the most sense for where you are right now. Step 2, find a deal in your market, any deal, and work through the 5 things that I've just outlined. Property details, the numbers, the exit strategy, risk, and backup plan. Step 3, practice presenting a deal out loud, in front of a mirror, to a friend, into your phone on your camera, and do it until you can do it calmly and clearly in 60 seconds or less. That exercise alone will move you further ahead than watching hours and hours of YouTube videos about real estate investing. If you want a structured framework that helps you do this, then download the Deal Ready Investor Checklist. It walks you through everything step by step and is completely free. And if you're serious about building this, subscribe to the REI Edge, because in the next video, I'm going to show you a real deal I did with real numbers where I funded the entire project without using my money. And you don't want to miss that one.